Bromania, and we left off in not a particularly great state. We lost half the country, which not entirely optimal, but we're going to do what we can to get it back. I mean, that's probably going to be my primary goal for this session, to try and recover some of these filthy separatist Livonian states, because I mean, after all, I went to all the trouble of renaming them. Frankly, it's just downright rude of them to have rebelled like that. Now, we do have the slight problem in that my army did get entirely wiped out in the meantime. So we're going to have to rebuild. We're going to have to try and make some money, because we're not at the moment making money. And we're also going to have to, I don't know, concentrate on not having more rebels as well, because at the moment we can't really do much about that if it happens. Now, my manpower reserve is perilously low. Where are we losing money from? Fleet maintenance. I'm going to have to stand down what few ships I have. I think I've got 3 galleys. We're going to have to sacrifice those entirely. They are mothballed at the moment, but even so, they're costing me money. So we're going to have to get rid of those. I don't think I've got enough, anything like enough to start building. We'll just check the economic situation. Now, I don't have what's it called? Common sense. The expansion common sense, so I can't manually with common sense you can basically spend your different power pools to actually increase the capabilities of the provinces. You can actually try and improve like the economy or the manpower or whatever, but I don't have common sense, so I can't do that, unfortunately. I think the development kind of happens on its own anyway, but it's a much slower process. So we've actually got the 2 most economically important provinces, which are Riga and Potato. But Riga, as we can see, because it's Baltic German, is basically giving me absolutely no cash whatsoever. And Potato isn't giving me that much either, unfortunately. Now, we'll just have a quick look at the revolt risk map, if I can remember which one that is. Players, buildings, supply limit, no. Opinion, no. Culture, I can never remember. Technology, rivals, it's here somewhere. There is a revolt risk thing and I'm missing it. Doesn't help that it mouses over the thing in a weird way. Oh, there we go, unrest. And the rest of the provinces are all okay. That's very healthy green, so that's fine. Also, we've just had a message. Grand ball in Circumberg. Although rather costly, the cause has expressed its desire for glamorous balls, state dinners, and other extravagances to entertain themselves. Arrange a ball, which will cost most of my remaining cash, or I can lose 5 prestige. Well, at the moment, I'd rather lose 5 prestige, because my prestige is deeply in the negative anyway. So yeah. 3rd stream, country wiped out. That might happen, Chosrao. That might happen. It's entirely possible that I have bitten off more than I could chew. And that could happen in this game. Everything just, like, you'll be ticking along fine for ages and ages, and it's nice and stable. And then suddenly you get a bunch of stuff happens at once that just plunges you into a pit of, well, rebellion and instability and war. So yeah, no, things can get interesting very, very quickly in this game. Let's have a look at the I do actually have unrest on Circumberg, but 2.6% is not really enough to worry about. Disputed succession, we've got claims on provinces we don't own. Yeah, definitely. We've also got a lot of okay, we're playing a lot in interest at the moment. That's why I still have negative income. So how are we doing technology wise? Aristocratic ideas. I don't know why we started off with aristocratic ideas, but it's not that useful for now. And yeah, we're probably going to be a ways from getting better troops and things. So we need money, and I'm already horrifically in debt. I don't know. This, I mean, it might be economics that wipe out Romania rather than anything else, just because this interest at the moment is slowly sapping away what money I do have, and I can't, at least I don't think I can do anything about it directly. Reform the monarchy, what does that give me? Anything good? Income from vassals? No. Fort maintenance. Talking of fort maintenance, do I actually have... Do any of these provinces... No, I think I had a fort in the south, which is now under the jackboot of the filthy Livonians. Have I got any forts at the moment? Let's check. No. Oh, well, yes, no, I do. I can mothball my fort. Is it in the capital? Because I think the capital comes with a fort by default. No? There's probably an overlay for that as well, seeing what fort level you have. There we go, Saltica. It's in Saltica. Saltica has a fort. Okay, so we can click that. And actually that's a cost-saving measure. And that might be enough to tip us back over. It's a pity that I can't just, you know, do quantitative easing. Apparently that's not in an option. Right, we're back very slightly in the green. Very slightly. Okay. We've also not got any other merchants I can send anywhere. So I'm already collecting trade. Ideas. I think we'll probably just have to put this into high speed for a bit. Right. Does reform the monarchy get me anything else though? We can change to a feudal monarchy, and at the moment we are a medieval kingdom, so that's probably a good thing. Plus 10% national manpower. Land maintenance goes down, fort maintenance goes down, income from vassals goes up, monthly autonomy change goes up, national focus cooldown. Well, that's a fairly minor thing, so we'll do that. Reform the monarchy. That's 100 admin points. Boycott de jeu de paume. I have no idea. That's a thing we can do. We can improve the court. We really don't want to do that. That's less tax and everything, which is not good at all. I mean, I kind of, with picking this as my starting area, I maybe shot myself in the foot because none of these provinces are very economically strong, apart from Riga, and of course there's that culture difference. And I don't know if it's just a thing in the game or if it's a thing in MEIOU, but I can't actually, I can't deliberately set out to convert culture anymore, it seems like. Also, civil war, hooray! That's okay. Legitimacy at least 75. Okay, yeah, no, I don't have that. My legitimacy is very, very low, so yeah, this is, you know, everything's looking up. Yeah, everything's looking up. Yeah, definitely. Is there anything else I can... No, there's no other options available to me that I can actually use to my advantage. I can't even pick any policies that might help out because I don't have any completed technology groups yet. Well, I suppose when this is... yeah, we'll go with the next aristocratic ideas group, which is... well, not group, but tech, which is noble officers, land leaders shock +1. So, yeah, building up troops again will be... it might take a little while. I probably... Can I actually afford any military units at the moment? I probably can't, no. I mean, I've mothballed my fort, which has saved a bit, and that's why we're in a positive balance, but I think we're just going to have to put things in fast forward for a while and hope that I get some positive events come up. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know. I might, if things don't pick up by the end of this session, I might just say, you know, we're going to reboot and start Bromania over again somewhere else. Like maybe the Dutch provinces, because they're richer. They'll be a better place to start. But having relatively low manpower and relatively low income, I mean, it could just be that I keep at it and it's a long, slow, lingering death. Or it could be that somehow I manage to make a turnaround that impresses everybody, but it's unlikely, just because we're in such a the country's in such a beat up state, basically. I mean, we were doing quite well in the first episode. We consolidated really nicely, and then yeah, it was just a really, really badly timed bunch of rebellions and revolts. So that's true, Tio. If things were not salty in Bromania, then that would be a bit odd. This is Bromania. I mean, we've got two of the finest salt-producing provinces in the world. So yeah, it's just a part of the course of being a Bromanian that everyone who is Bromanian is just they're kind of accepting of that life is salty and unfair, and that they're just, you know, there are lots of swear words in Bromania. They basically borrow all the swear words from all their neighbours, and they have a bunch of their own swear words as well. The Count's plans come to fruition. In 1355, Count Louis de Mal of Flanders, Nevers and Rethel married his only daughter, Margaret III de Dampierre, to the Duke of Burgundy, knowing the union would result in Flanders becoming part of Burgundy after his death. And, oh, okay. This is something that's happening down there. So I can just accept the union and it'll just happen, or I can lose one legitimacy. Yeah, I want that right now. So this is part of the historically scripted event, I guess, that results in Burgundy getting a bit bigger. Right, right, there we go. There's the idea, and suddenly we've gone back into a negative balance again. I don't know. I can't, unfortunately, increase. I mean, we're at max stability as it is, so that isn't an option. How's this civil war? 12%. Loans due. 1st of August 1388, so that's a little bit over a year. Advisors would be nice, but I can't afford advisors right now, so we'll click away some of these things. Yeah. So why are we suddenly making less money? Is that trade that's dropped off, or what? Right. Oh, okay. All right. The Polish whoever has died, so that's fine. My royal marriage with Poland has ended. The Polish-Lithuanian Union. Okay. Accept their king on the throne of Poland, but demand his Christianization as their choice of action. That's interesting. So Poland and Lithuania now in a personal union, but they've not yet formed into the Commonwealth, which is a thing that can happen. So let's actually renew our royal ties with Poland, I guess it would be. So they're leading the personal union, so it will be Poland. I actually dynastic actions, royal marriage. Now my hope, I mean, I think my best and only hope, and it's pure RNG, is oh, Charles Rao, you probably made a point. You probably have a good point there, that switching government type. Well, I wanted the manpower, but I don't think it's made that much difference. And yeah, that did cost me a legitimacy, and that sparks off the possible civil war. So yeah, no, I probably have hoist by my own. I didn't realise that choice would cost me legitimacy, but it did. So yeah. Anyway, it probably said in the tooltip, and I just didn't read it well enough. That gets to be a bit of a bad habit. Like, you play a game a lot and you just click away things because you're like, yeah, I know what that is, and then sometimes you get caught out. Anyway, but yeah, my hope is, and it's a very distant hope, that I inherit somewhere. If I can inherit Poland, or like inherit Sweden or something, that would be just like the best. But that's not going to happen, because most of these places have got fairly strong monarchies, fairly strong royal families. Religious leaders in Narva report the presence of missionaries from another religion. So this is probably going to be Novgorod. Yes, it is. Execute them. I probably can't afford to piss off Novgorod at the moment. Send our own missionaries to counter their influence. We'll do that. I don't want Novgorod to just declare war on me, although they might do. Oh, also, that's somebody phoning me, that's good timing. Let's actually turn off my phone. I'm so good at this. Normally I remember to turn my phones off, but sometimes I don't. So, yeah. Anyway, So that's now going to be recorded on the VOD for all eternity, on my channel for all eternity. I think if this does all go pear-shaped, we'll just start again and we'll say, lessons learned. Because I think I mentioned this like the previous 2 times, but this is the first sort of regular sessions I've had of EU4 for quite a long time. And there's a bunch of stuff that has changed in MEIOU and taxes since the last time I played it. So some of this stuff is actually new to me. Right, introduce heir, which gets me possibly some legitimacy. No, claim strength goes up, prestige goes up. Lose 20 Diplo power. Lose some of my remaining precious money, or we'll leave that decision for now then. So yeah, we might try for more royal marriages actually. Can I? 3 out of 4 Diplo relations. More royal marriages. Well, it can potentially be messy further down the line, but it makes my legitimacy pick up faster. Where's somewhere that's relatively close? I mean, Austria, we've got good relations with Austria. No, they wouldn't have me. Denmark, no. Can we have royal marriages with any of these people? They might all just be a bit too far away. Right, well, we can't have a... We could have, based on relations, but we can't with Lithuania, because, of course, they're a subject of Poland. Let's see, Hungary, no. Or if any of the minors will... No, I don't think I'm going to get any other royal marriages with... It'd be nice if there was an overlay for that and you could see who would accept a royal marriage proposal. Royal marriage with Livonia, yeah, or Livland rather. Yeah, no, they'll definitely want to have a royal marriage with me after breaking free. Those fools. Okay, no, well, I can't do that then. Apparently, so... Yeah. At least my phone actually rings and it's not some kind of song. My phone is not that fancy. There was much mockery of the fact that my phone is... it's literally one that cost, I think, £12 or something like that. I literally went into a shop and said, I want your cheapest phone. And that's the one I got. And the charge lasts for about a week. But on the downside, it is incredibly basic. So, yeah, when I was at Tank Fest, everyone else was there with their, you know... Android whatevers, and I was there with my thing that looked vaguely, well, not quite like a Nokia, but you know, that level of basicness. And yeah, I was they were all like, oh, just they were all chatting to each other on WhatsApp, and I was there with my phone saying, but can't I just text you guys? Can't I just text you guys? So yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. My phone is, you know, I don't use it that much, so I'm fine with the basic phone. It's just sometimes more would be better. Accept the authority of the patriarch. We can flip to, we can flip to being an orthodox. Okay. No, we don't want to flip to being an orthodox country because that would induce massive instability and. We don't need that right now. Massive instability would be a bad thing. Yes, Jack. Actually, it probably is that one. It's a Samsung. It's well, let's have a look at the model number. It's MX something or I don't even know. But it's basic. And basic's all I needed. Schism rends the, or is it schism? I never know. Schism rends the church asunder. Dun dun dun. With the Curia divided between factions supporting Rome and factions supporting France, the Pope made the decision to turn his back on France and replace nearly half the cardinals with his own. The defrocked cardinals rejected the authority of the Pope, formed a synod, and elected their own Pope. Now France and their allies are supporting this new Pope, while the Papal States and their allies are supporting the one in Rome, each declaring the other to be a false anti-Pope. This schism is tearing the church apart as good Catholics struggle to determine which man holds the keys of St. Peter and the authority to lead the church. Interesting. So, basically, there's now a pope and an anti-pope, except each pope is going, no, you're the anti-pope. No, you're the anti-pope, which, I think this is an actual, based on the date, this is an actual historically fired event. So you've got the Papal State, and then you'll have the Avignon Pope. Yes, the anti-Pope. in France. Right, so the Catholic faith grows. Grand Duke of Lithuania is converted to Catholic faith. Selfless act of piety will surely inspire his people to follow suit. So we get a small opinion bump because that was a thing that they had to do. So part of Lithuania is now Catholic, and the rest maybe will soon follow, but we'll see. They might have some civil instability because, you know, that's always fun. Scotland, the end of the Peasants' War. Yeah, Peasants' Wars are always fun. Right, where's the 28% on the Civil War? I can't afford I mean, I could take out a buttload of loans, raise an army, and then that would hasten my financial end even further. Right, we can use 100 admin power to get my inflation down, so we'll do that. I don't know that I have a lot of choice because I need some kind of army to fight the rebels, but we don't want to do it too soon. I really need Riga to call, but I think it's purely I tried playing I had another test game with MEIOU just to try out some of the new stuff, and there's every chance that it will take until 1425 to actually call this. Now, it can happen by event much sooner, but it seems to be purely RNG based. I don't know what factors actually go into the checks of whether it decides to call early. I had at least half the time. Was it as much as half the time? It might only have been like a third of the time, something like that. I wasn't actually following the numbers, but a significant percentage of the time anyway, it took the full amount of time to actually create cores. And in this case, the full amount of time is another nearly 60 years. So that's not good. Riga's basically, although it's my richest province, it's not contributing at all. So I don't think we have any choice here. I'm going to have to... well, unless the chat has any particular suggestions as to how I get myself out of this hole, but I think I'm going to have to wait until maybe that's about kind of 50-60%, take out a bunch of loans, and that dooms me financially, but at least it might do something about the civil war. Or I could just let the rebels win, I suppose. I mean, you still keep playing as the country, but I don't know what would happen. I mean, would Bromania split in two, or would it just be a new royal family on the throne, or would the government type change? Losing internal wars in EU4, and it was the same in EU3, not necessarily always the worst thing, but it can lead to periods of extended instability. But if you've got a particular form of government that you want to get rid of, sometimes you just like stand down the armies and let the rebels have their way. But it can be a bit unpredictable. So I don't know. So yeah, if anybody has any brilliant suggestions about how to handle this, I'm definitely all ears. But I think I did screw myself with that that government change. I did not realise that would hammer my legitimacy so hard, which I probably should have. Right. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. I ignore them. Lose 2 stability. Ignore them. Lose 1 stability and 21 ducats. I don't have 21 ducats, so it's going to have to be lose 2 stability. So that's fun. Right, that's going to impact my tax modifier, so that's going to go down even faster. I can boost stability back up by 1, which is fine. Also, we've got a Polish event. Okay, the Union of... would that be Krakow? I'm not sure. In a strict sense, the Union of Krakow or Act of Krakow... or Act of Krakow was a series of prenuptial promises made in the Krakow Castle on 14th August 1385 by Jogaila, Grand Duke of Lithuania, in exchange for marriage to the underage reigning Queen Jadwiga of Poland. After the negotiations in 1385, Jogaila converted to Christianity, married Jadwiga, and was crowned King of Poland in 1386. The union was a decisive moment in histories of Poland and Lithuania. It marked the beginning of the 4 centuries of a shared history between the two nations. Okay, so I think fired by events, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth is probably going to pop out fairly soon. That always bugged me in probably, I mean, we're probably going back to EU3 days, that you had, when the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth appeared, it was just like a big Poland. They didn't bother to change the country tag. They didn't bother to do any kind of specific, you know. That always bugged me. That really, really did. I don't know why in particular, just because that period of Polish and Lithuanian history is really interesting, but I don't know. But MEIOU did it for EU3, and MEIOU for EU4 does it as well. So, yeah. But I really need Riga to core, but this is so RNG. We're just praying to RNGesus right now. Yeah, the decay of Bromania. This is... You know what I might do? Is I might... I mean, I'll do the same thing. I'll use the custom thing creator. But what I might do is I might start the next game at kind of like where this one left off date-wise. So we'll... If I do decide that we're going to throw up our hands and say, right, well, this Bromania is done for, and when we start over in the Netherlands, I might kind of start it from that date, maybe. Would that make any sense, or am I better just starting from the earlier start date again? Average development, so that's just one of the maintenance messages. And now money's just running out. Money's just running out entirely, and we're gonna have to take out another loan regardless anyway, quite soon. Right, this is a whole bunch of messages. These are probably to do with religion. Okay, so ecclesiastical writings. Our religious leader has recently composed a theological treatise, and presented the Marquess with a copy as a gift. The head of the Catholic religion had a number of duties. He ordained and defrocked critics, led religious ceremonies and festivals for the nation, and acted as an advisor for the Marquess. In their spare time, learned and thoughtful religious leaders also spent their time considering religious doctrine and beliefs, and sometimes wrote about them. Although many theologians did the same, coming from a recognised religious authority, his words had more weight and could spark a more visceral reaction. So, I can congratulate His Holiness, which gets me 20% chance of +2 missionary strength, which is entirely useless. I can publish it across the nation, which gets me 1 prestige. And I can confiscate the manuscript and keep it locked up. Well, we'll just congratulate His Holiness, because the other thing costs me money but gets me 1 prestige. And 1 prestige is a bit useless, so we'll go with that one. And the other one is conciliarism, I think is how you would say that. Or would it be conciliarism? I'm not sure. In the early 13th century, some canon lawyers speculated what to do if a pope became a heretic, and concluded that ultimate power rested in the hands of the church itself, as embodied in an ecumenical council. Meant as an exercise in theory, it gained serious attention during the schism as rival popes split the church. Witnessing the election of rival popes, the unwillingness of popes to cede power, and the politics of the curia, frustrated church leaders looked for a rival authority that could call a church council. They found one in the example of Emperor Constantine calling the Council of Nicaea, and looked to the modern example of the Holy Roman Emperor to unite the church. Many church leaders and laity became convinced that church councils were not only good, but necessary. Rather than be led by popes with human frailties, they believed that the whole church should meet on a regular basis. Inevitably, this conciliar movement would come into conflict with popes who guarded their authority jealously. Support the movement, which gets me... Actually, that gets me +1 legitimacy. That's quite nice. Ignore the movement, which is stability cost modifier +20%, which is bad. Actively suppress the movement, and I get I curry favour with the Pope, but my legitimacy goes down by 1.6 a year. That's not good. We'll actually go with this one, and that slightly harms my relations with the Pope, but +1 legitimacy is yeah. I mean, there's no way we're staving off this civil war. This is not good. Right, I can send... Oh, no, we can't send missionaries to our neighbours because it's going to cost 10 ducats. Pursue religious tolerance, rather. Religious piety? No, that would be the opposite. Stability cost modifier, -10%. Missionary strength. Well, I think we can ignore that as well. I mean, we could... The stability cost thing would be nice, but minus tolerance of the true faith No, we'll leave that be, because that can have an effect on things like tax incomes. At least to my memory, it can do. Let's also have a quick look at. Yeah, just unrest is rising generally. I've got a couple. I mean, we're nowhere near double digits for most of these places, but if we could get rid of, I mean, a big part of it is at the moment overextension and where are we? That 10% overextension is enough to cause half a point of national unrest and a couple of other bad things. So I really need Riga to core. God damn it, RNGesus. I really need Riga to core. Also, these guys are at 40%, so oops. I didn't mean to click that. Did I click? Oh, I clicked boost stability. Okay, I accidentally clicked the. I double clicked when I meant to single click, but I double clicked a thing that didn't screw me over. So I boosted stability, and I can spend 25 on harsh treatment as well. 25 military power, so that's cut that down to 20%. So yeah, I might have screwed myself there. Right, Poland would like us to transfer 20% of our trade power. Oh, gold. I mean, that would give me better relations with Poland, but on the other hand, we're just keeping our head above the water. Oh, 1.42 though. Okay, we'll do that because trade income is nothing. At least I think it's nothing. 0.7, 1.81. Actually, no, it's pretty good. We'll decline. That's unusual for the AI to ask that. And in fact, I can. I've just realised both my diplomats are idle at the moment, so I'll improve relations with Poland, and we'll improve relations with Sweden. I might as well have my diplomats doing something. We can also. There's a couple more decisions there. Donate state lands to the church. That's a new one. Gain legitimacy and prestige, but it costs nearly 5 ducats, so I can't afford that. So yeah, my income suddenly jumps up. I guess that's trade. Anyway, that's quite useful. I'm no longer in imminent danger of bankruptcy. Hey, Snooze and Sombra, yeah, you've joined us. You've joined us just in time to learn that Bromania is not doing so well. This might be the last episode of this particular run. So yeah. It's not going so well. Oh, also though, the filthy live land, there's filthy. Oh wow, okay, the rebels are just getting crushed, but still. Anyway, right. Oh, okay, we've got okay. As a ruler of Bromania, this is an event that's very good for me. Ivica was expected to live in a Starfleet for Marquess and blah blah blah. Okay, so I can keep the same court as my predecessor, which is this one. But we're going to go with maintain a luxurious court, which cost me 5 prestige and 12.5 ducats. But or I could go with a small but sensible court, but that puts my national unrest up and my yearly prestige down. Diplomatic reputation, lose 6 ducats. Pare it down to the bare minimum. So these, I mean, it increases things like tax modifier, but we're going to go with a neutral option, which basically will increase my tax income a bit, but it also I lose out on some bonuses because of that. So tax income will have gone up a bit, which is good. But we really need Riga, or Rita as it is these days. We really need Rita to actually become a core. Become a core! God damn it! Core already! Oh, RNGesus, why? Why? Yeah, the rebels get a turret, but unfortunately the filthy livelanders are going to take it right back. Anyway. Well, we've lasted more than 10 minutes, Snooze. It's just, after only like 6 hours, this would be quite a... Or not even... Well, actually, it would be more like 7 or 8 hours, wouldn't it? This would be a fairly short play through of an EU4 game. Only 8 hours. Because the first... How long was the first one? Because I did a big long session for the first one, didn't I? That was like 3.5, 4 hours, and then the second episode was just under 2 hours because I decided that doing very long sessions was going to be a pain for people to watch. So I decided to cut it down to a slightly more reasonable time, but yeah, still a full playthrough of EU4 can take quite a long time indeed. Yeah, but yeah, I think if we do have a reboot, which I think we might end up having to, just because it's all gone so badly wrong, it'll be somewhere else. Although I like the idea of having this area eventually. I mean, if I do a reboot, one of the eventual goals would be to have, like, obviously up here and here and here and whichever bit of Sweden Snooze lives in as well. So yeah, we'd want to consolidate all the Bromanian homelands, disparate though they may be. So our provincial unrest is that going up still? I think we've headed things. I think it is going up slightly. Okay, call diplomat from Sweden. I think it is going up slightly because we've gone back up to positive, maximum stability, which I totally intentionally did. It might all have gone horribly wrong. I might have accidentally agreed to the rebels' demands or something like that. But yeah. But I need that core. God damn it! I need that core. December 1425. 1425. Yeah, no, it's only. Wasn't it 45 before? Or was I just doing the sums wrong? Well, it's only 30 odd years, but still, that's pretty bad. Right, we've maxed out our relations with Poland. 89. Tensions from broken marriages. I didn't do that, did I? At what point did we break a royal marriage with Poland? I have no idea. Right, unhappiness among the clergy. Conflict of opinion and interest over religious and secular matters between our government and our nation's religious authorities has upset the clergy. Ignore their demands, and I can gain 10 prestige, which is actually pretty useful, or I can gain 10 papal influence and lose 25 prestige. Well, you know what? Screw the Pope in this particular occasion. Screw both popes. We need the prestige, because having negative prestige gives you slightly negative effects. In fact, we're actually losing legitimacy, which is the most important one there, from having negative prestige. So we want positive prestige, because then our legitimacy will go up faster, basically. Right. Oh, this is okay. Raised to the purple. As a consistory in the Vatican, the Archbishop of Tortiberg was elevated to the rank of cardinal, receiving his ring of office and silk hat from the Pope himself. So basically we've had a cardinal from our country. Joining the Sacred College of Cardinals, he has become one of the most influential men in the Catholic Church, able to decide matters on matters of faith and to vote in the election of the next Pope. Assigned to a church in the Holy City, he is likely to spend the rest of his days in the Vatican, but will surely remember his days in Bromania fondly. Our policy of recommending candidates to the papacy has paid off, so Rita will be the seat of a new cardinal. So we have an active cardinal from Bromania, and that's because I think Rita was already it had the province modifier of being an archbishopric, which is I think a MEIOU thing. So if I check, well, my papal influence is going to be non-existent, but I have a cardinal, and cardinals I think give you a bit of prestige. I'm not sure. So we can actually just check that. No, but I'm sure having a cardinal gives you some kind of positive something. There must be something. There must be something good about having a cardinal. Let's just check the country modifiers. No, I don't know. We've still got that really annoying decline and fall national modifier, which we really need to get rid of that, but I don't know how we get rid of it. Anyway, let's see. This is another thing about... oh, I see. Now I get a choice to support the Pope in Rome or support the rival Pope in Avignon. So it depends who, which group of countries I want to piss off particularly. Right. Well, this is good. I can either really annoy Sweden or I can really annoy Poland. Sweden is supporting the anti-pope, along with a bunch of countries I don't particularly care about, and the Pope in Rome is being supported by more people, and one of them is Poland, which I do care about. My relations with Poland are already a little bit. I think we can more afford to take the relation hit with Sweden, so we'll support the Pope in. Which one did I say again? We'll support the Pope. We'll support the rival Pope. No, it's the other way around. Poland is supporting the rival Pope. Sweden's supporting the actual Pope. Okay. We'll do it that way. You can't actually... the way they did it in EU3, Brett, which is still a kind of a thing I miss in EU4. I mean... EU4 does it like the mechanisms for controlling your country. It does it okay, but in EU3 you had the country sliders, and you could basically you could use it to shape your country, and the practical effect was that it had kind of bonuses and modifiers, so you could be neutral in all regards and have no bonuses and no negative modifiers. Or you could like choose to be, you know, particularly secular or particularly religious, or you could choose to go for quantity versus quality. So there's a lot of aspects about the sliders that I miss, the country slider mechanism. But what they replaced that with was basically a vastly expanded or a reworked ideas system. A lot of that got folded into how the ideas work. So. It's not like it's gone away entirely. What idea groups you pick for your country has a big effect, but I still kind of miss the sliders because it let you choose what kind of direction you wanted your country to go in terms of certain things, independent of idea groups. So military technology has hit 9, which is fine, but we're still behind the curve. We're definitely behind the curve on admin and Diplo as well. Foreign missionaries to our soil, so this is Novgorod again, and we'll just do what we did last time, send our own missionaries, and there we go. So no new military units, but our tactics and whatever has gone up. Where are we at with the civil war? Oh, 82%, right, we absolutely need to start recruiting some units. So we'll get 4,000, no we won't because I've just spent all my money. Okay, well that's 3,000 men-at-arms, and we might actually have to take out another loan. Once we've built those men-at-arms, we'll see what the money situation's like. Pogrom against the Catholic faith. This is going to be Novgorod, isn't it? Yes, it is. Minus 25 relations with Novgorod. I think our relations with Novgorod are just a permanent rock bottom, basically. So, yeah, I should have been paying slightly more attention to... I wanted to do that a bit sooner. Start raising regiments, but the longer you leave it, the more money you have. Right. Hello. Skov opens for trade. Despite their open hatred of us and everything we stand for, the Skovians have allowed their traders the opportunity to make deals with us. Okay. So we get more trade power for the next 3 years in Novgorod. So that's quite nice. Right, so I've got 3,000 men. Still got positive balance, but only just. What if this is time to reactivate the fort in Saltica as well? Which might push me over into... Well, it will push me over into a negative. Oh, there's no... What? There's no land link between Dukimar and... That's ridiculous. How is there no land link between that and that? How is there no... Well, we're just going to have to leave those troops there because I don't have any transport fleets. But seriously, how is there no land link between these? How is that... I don't know. That might be a... That might actually be an error with MEIOU because I did Well, you can't see it on the map, but I started over here. Created a kind of a nation in the ass end of Russia, basically. And there are a couple of places where it looks like there's a land link between two provinces, except it's between two different provinces, so that might actually be a map error, but maybe it's on purpose. But seriously, why the hell would there not be a... That's ridiculous. I don't know. So I've got even less troops than I thought. Right, so we're going to have to take out some loans. So that's nice. Where are we? Right. Take 55... And this is just screwing my economy so very much, but anyway, can't be helped. And we need to... the other annoying thing is that having put those 1,000 men there, you know, that's manpower I don't get back. So, anyway. Well, actually, I mean, we might as well stand them down. What's the... that has 0 unrest, so that's actually just a waste of money having those guys standing there. That's super annoying. That is absolutely super annoying. Yeah. That's just the annoyingest. So annoying. Why would you not have a land link with this? I don't know. I don't know. That seems like an oversight. The Bishop of Potato. You know, we're actually going to screenshot this. There's things that sometimes it's like, wait, what's the... oh, Shift F12, there we go. Right, that should have taken a Steam screenshot. Yeah, there's things that occasionally I wish I'd screenshotted, like the first episode where we had the salt crisis, or when Rita became our heir. Just the game just chose a Rita, because why not? Catholic bishops received a benefice, grant of land, in return for services rendered to their community. Bishops were expected to oversee the religious orders and churches of their diocese, root out corruption, advise local nobles, pass judgments on ecclesiastical crimes, and appoint new priests to parishes. A particularly competent bishop was a blessing for the ruler whose realm was more stable and efficient as a result. So I can promote peace and order, which is very useful. I get effective bishop until 1404, which gives local unrest -1. Missionary strength +2, papal influence +0.1, or take an interest in his career, which, oh, I see, so that gives you a chance to get them as an advisor as well, but we're not interested in that, so we're just going to go with the first one. So the Bishop of Potato is doing very well, apparently. And oh, also we can invest in another idea, but we'll leave that for now because our admin tech is seriously far behind. Right, so it's 4,000 men. Why are you marching through Fustata? And that's another annoying thing, but I think that's EU4. That's with the last patch or two. Like, sometimes the AI chooses the most backward routes to take when you're trying to march them through territories. And it's bizarre. That must surely be a bug or something. Right, manpower is... Well, we have the problem is that as I fight these rebel scum, I am so not going to have the manpower to replenish the forces. So we might actually... I can get some Welsh longbowmen in. Maintenance 1.22 per month. Gosh, they're expensive though. I bet the mounted archers are even more. 1.63, 2.79. Okay, mercenaries. They're useful, but they're very expensive. I mean, the economy's screwed anyway. Let's have a unit of Welsh longbowmen who have very good offensive abilities. And we're gonna have to take out another loan. Because why not? I'm so screwed. Anyway, so I've got 5,000 men. We'll see. I mean, if the rebel forces... they shouldn't arise in Riga, but if they do, I can literally do nothing about it. Ghetto turrets still under siege. How have they not... with 5,000 men versus 100 defenders? Well, that's another weird thing that I think is EU4 rather than MEIOU, is that with the introduction of the new fort system, that sometimes the sieges... Even if you have, in theory, a vastly superior number of men versus the number of defenders. The siege is, it just says, you know, you don't have enough men to complete the siege. And it's like, wait, what? I have an army of 12,000. How is that not enough to siege this province with a level 1 fort? But okay. Yeah, it's a bit weird sometimes. I don't get it. Anyway. Just a maintenance message there, so click that one away. 98%. Okay, the war is nearly upon us. The war is nearly upon us. This is... I hope they don't arise in Serkonberg, because if they do, my army might just get wiped out. Norway has announced Bromania as their new rival. So this has just been... This entire episode is just going to be, like, I don't know, damage containment. And they did arise! God damn it! Okay, civil war. Okay. Okay, he's somebody that wants the throne, basically. So if we lose, we don't lose the country. We just lose the Beardmeister. The Beardmeister dynasty basically loses the throne. Right, can we retreat those forces? No, they're just going to get wiped out, aren't they? That's so annoying. Why did they have to appear in Serkonberg? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. A cry for help. The opposition against Ivica has been attracting more supporters by the day, and the possibility of a deposition is becoming very plausible. In a desperate attempt to save the throne and restore order, Ivica has turned to Bromania's foreign allies asking for help. Rely on your own strength. I get another 6,000 pretender rebels. Request aid from your allies. We'll do that. I've got the Diplo power for that. Let's actually put the speed down a bit as well. So, yeah, no, that first fight could have gone better. Yeah. It did inflict some losses on the enemy, but it's not, I don't know. Doesn't, it doesn't bode well. Anyway, I can't even move these troops now, because they're locked down until their morale improves. So the Bromanian pretender rebels have the capital, but they don't have anywhere else yet. Bankruptcy looming, yeah, you don't say. You have reached the maximum number of allowed loans. This might actually be the end, because if I hit bankruptcy and I can't take out any more loans, I don't know. I don't know what I can do. Right, their armies are on the move. My armies are nowhere near reinforced enough to actually deal with it, so this could be it. This could be the final days. Now, having requested foreign aid, I don't know if that means that I then... And again, this cry for help one, so we're going to spend another 100 Diplo power. Like, I guess maybe some Polish armies might help. Poland's giving me some subsidies. Okay, that actually does help a bit. That staves off my looming financial disaster slightly. But, yeah, I can't even fully reinforce my army. Request aid from your allies. I'm rapidly running out of Diplo power, but if they give me more... Oh, good! If they give me more money and things, troops would be ideal. Comet sighted. Lose 1 stability. Yeah, it's the end of days for Bromania, apparently. Yeah, no, this is not good. This is not good. Right, totally out of manpower. The army isn't... They're like 3/4 reinforced. The mercenary unit will fully reinforce because they reinforce through money. And once they reinforce, it'll cost me a little bit less money. But as for the rest of them, it'll slowly trickle in. It'll go up by 75 men a month. Yeah. I also don't have a leader, which I probably should put a leader on that army. Not that it probably would have helped that much. Corfu has been placed under interdict. A papal nuncio has arrived in T54 with the news that all attempts at reconciliation failed. The Marquis of Corfu has been excommunicated. Dun dun dun. Okay. Cut off relations with Corfu. I think we can manage that. Because, you know, Corfu's such a major player in the politics of the... Yeah. Civil disorder transfers into chaos. Minor political conflicts have tormented our nation for some time now. We are at an evolutionary standstill and drastic measures must be taken to reclaim our nation's prominence and put an end to the infighting before it's too late. There's nothing we can do. Or I can... Oh, God. I can lose 1 stability and get 6 pretender regiments. Or I can stop this at any costs, which cost me ducats, which I don't have. So there's that. Let's just, you know, screw it. We're doomed anyway. I'd rather be doomed financially than have more rebels that I just can't deal with. Polish news, the Union of Horodlo, and this might be okay. A couple of provinces culture flip to being Polish. I wonder if this is part of the steps of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth coming together. Probably is. Right, so we're oh dear. Civil war brings our nation to its knees. Yeah, I hadn't noticed. Right, I apparently was able to take out another loan, so that's fine. That's bought some more time. Political conflicts okay, so this is the same text as before. Nothing we can do, which is autonomy all over the place. Support one of the factions, lose 100 admin power to gain 10 legitimacy. Start negotiations to minimise the damage. We'll actually go with support one of the factions, because plus 10 legitimacy is quite useful. I can't retake the capital, unfortunately. But best case scenario, I can at least block them from making a move on the rest of the country. In fact, if I put my troops in Mausberg, that means they can't... I mean, we have inferior numbers of troops, but they will be crossing over to attack those troops. And with the terrain, actually, yeah, dice rolls for attackers -1. So that would give us a defensive bonus, basically. So they'd be attacking across a strait into a province where we have a defensive bonus. So we have fewer numbers, but hopefully that would be enough to make a difference. Yeah. Commit Sudoku by salt ingestion. Okay, they're taking the bait. They're moving on Fustadt. Oh, no, wait. They're moving on Fustadt. How is it they can... Okay, wait, what? You know how I was saying earlier on that the straight crossings don't always... Like, that would appear to connect that to that. But apparently it's not. Apparently it connects to Fustadt. Well, okay then. Yeah, no. Why does that connect to that? That's an error. That's a map error within MEIOU and Taxes, basically. It should be from there to there. But it's not. It's from there to there. So that's why they took that weird-ass route earlier, because that's where the land crossing is, despite being not next door to it at all. And we don't get any defensive modifiers from being on Fustadt, but we still get they still get penalty for making a crossing, basically. That's weird. That is just odd. That's a bug. That should not be. Meanwhile, the core creation on Rita has just about hit 40%. 1425. Just happen already. Just happen. I know it's Baltic German which is slowing things down, but just happen already. In the midst of... by the way, this is all... I mean, even though it's all going to pot, this is all still interesting to me because I've never had this situation with the country before. These are all events that I haven't really encountered before. New factional powers. In the midst of all the ongoing chaos, small but powerful factions have emerged, and each one of them is trying to gain the upper hand by swaying important nobles from our court to side with them and their cause. Support one side. Don't support any faction, which loses me stability. 6 pretender regiments rise up in Dukimar, but they'll be trapped in Dukimar, and they will only be able to hold Dukimar. So... I don't know. I could let that happen. And I gain 5 legitimacy. So we're going to lose control of Dukimar, but on the other hand, they are effectively trapped there. And because they're pretender rebels, rather than like separatists or anything like that, it shouldn't flip, basically. It's very odd. Lopatu oh, that's a name. Ovalil. This is the MEIOU and Taxes mod, which is a combination of 2 very long-standing mods within the European Universalis community, Death and Taxes, and the MEIOU mod, MEIOU, which I have played for many, many years. I played it back when it was for EU3, and in fact it became my default EU3 playing experience, just because it added so much more to the map apart from anything else, and a lot of other interesting things besides. Like if I compare, like let's look at the HRE in EU4. I mean, EU4 versus EU3 does have more map provinces anyway, but compared to EU4, the HRE is just, it's so much more interesting. In fact, there's one particular example of like EU3. The reason why I switched to just playing EU with MEIOU and Taxes, well, MEIOU for EU3, is because for the base EU3 map, like this was maybe, I don't know, Anatolia was like a dozen provinces or something like that, and for EU3 with MEIOU, it was like double that. So yeah, they added something like 1,000 extra provinces into the game. And oh, also they made their move. It's a good thing I paused it. Yeah, no, -2 from the crossing was not enough. So yeah. Oh well, rip that army. Right, they're going to siege Saltica, which might hold out for a while. But we'll see. We absolutely don't have the manpower to reinforce. Running out of money again. Provincial unrest is climbing. So this is fun. Are we having fun? Yes. Yes. But yeah, MEIOU's really nice, and there are, I mean, we've spotted one map bug here. It's not 100% polished and finished, but they do put out releases, I think, a couple of times a year. Talking of mod releases, actually, they've just put out a big update for the Game of Thrones mod for the CK2, so I might download that and have a go at that at some point. I'll probably just play it for myself for fun, but you never know, I might do a stream where I just show it off, basically. I also I did download the Elder Kings mod as well, which also not that long ago had a major update. So I might have to make a copy of my CK2 folder with the current version of CK2, so I know it's going to work with Elder Kings and with the Game of Thrones mod. So I've got a stable copy to play around with. But yeah, it's got dragons. What's not to love? I did see a screenshot on the Paradox Plaza the subreddit where somebody accidentally had the Game of Thrones mod and the Crisis of the Confederation mod, which is kind of all spacey and stuff. They somehow got them to run at the same time accidentally. And it was like dragons but in space. It was slightly strange. Or was it the other way around? No, it was the other way around. It was the Game of Thrones map, but it had like the character camos, the portraits, and all the description text from the Crisis of the Confederation mod, which is all kind of, you know, spacey. So yeah, no, that was slightly weird. And that army's somehow been able to move to Serkonberg. Oh, I know how they did that. Yeah, there's some weird mechanic that lets rebel armies move across water even though they don't have boats. I'd forgotten about that. That's a new thing. That's why I didn't think of that when I said, you know, let there be rebels. Which is really annoying because it means you can't just contain rebels on islands anymore. They somehow magically are able to teleport across water. Whereas your own armies, of course, they don't get to do that because, I don't know, screw you, I guess. So, yeah, this is the long, slow death of Bromania right now. There's not a lot I can do about it. Are there any particular good places for me to make a stand? Well, Fusstad's basically the worst place. All of these have dice roll -1, but the marsh terrain has attrition as well. So, yeah. Total war emerges internally. This is the first time I've ever seen this message. What initially began as minor clashes between different factions has turned into pure mayhem. We don't have much time to turn this around if we are to act. This is the time or our nation will likely crumble before us. Try to suppress the worst spots, which just costs me a bunch of power but gets me legitimacy. So my legitimacy is climbing up again slowly, but it's probably all too late to actually save the nation. So, yeah. It's not even that we're being attacked from outside of Snooze. It's just, oh, I don't know. The country. I mean, we started off the second session so well, and then it just all completely went to tits. And now, well, it's just been a long, slow decline since the end of the last episode. So yeah, we'll give this another 40 or 50 minutes, and if we last that long, and if there's no way of pulling the country back within that time, I think we'll wipe the slate clean. We'll start over again in a different location with some slightly richer home provinces, because yeah, not having the manpower and not having the money has made a pretty big difference. Favoured faction threatens to splinter. It has come to our attention that an individual of unknown origin has managed to sway the opinions of the leader of our favoured faction. As a consequence, we are now facing 2 new groups thirsting for individual power instead of one. Let them splinter, which gives some of the faction leaders to begin negotiations. Cost me 50 prestige, or I can gain 50% local autonomy in Dukimar, which will put it up to 100% local autonomy. But you know what? We're getting nothing from that at the moment anyway, so we'll go with let them splinter. Get 10 legitimacy. It's funny, we started this civil war because my legitimacy was terrible. And actually, in the course of the civil war, my legitimacy's just shot through the roof. Again, I don't know. Also, apparently, these 100 guys holding off these 5,000 guys, I mean, that's just like, well, okay then. Regiments needed 6, that'll be why. They've have 1 less regiment than needed. So that's yeah, I guess that's why 100 guys are holding off 5,000 with absolutely no penalty whatsoever, despite there being a negative 26% fort defense score. So yeah, so apparently that's enough. Apparently, we're going to lose Saltica fairly soon as well. We'll see, Brett. We'll see if yeah, if Romania can live that long. Well, if I could afford a navy, I could I could pull back to Rita, but yeah, no, that's not going to happen, sadly. I wonder if I could flip the capital, but it doesn't look like it. No, 400 admin power. Okay, I did wonder if it wasn't showing it because I'm at war. You know, I effectively have a civil war, but I don't know. We'll see. Even if I did have the admin power, I still might be able to do it. Anyway, let's speed things up again a little bit. I mean, we're about to lose Saltica. And, I mean, the capital is firmly held. Dukimar's firmly held. I can't even get troops to Dukimar. They can get troops off Dukimar. That's fine, but I can't get troops onto Dukimar because screw you, apparently. Well, screw me, apparently, is, yeah, apparently. Apparently. Right, so the mercenaries are fully reinforced, but the rest of the regiments are looking pretty sorry. I can request aid from allies, so we'll do that. That's 100 Diplo power down the drain. We have lost the siege of Saltica. Yay. I mean, I could just disband the army and accept the inevitable thrashing that's going to happen, and the inevitable change of dynasty. But it's going to be whichever royal house takes over is going to have terrible legitimacy. So I don't know. I feel like we're in this to the bitter end. Oh. Right. Okay. Wow, this was a lot of events all at once. They won. Okay, the rebels won. They just won. That army isn't even. That fight isn't even over. They just won. Look at this. Look at the messages. All of the messages. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. The rebels won. Okay. So plus 10 autonomy in basically every province. Thierry von Holstein-Gottorp becomes ruler with a strong claim. He doesn't have great stats. Romania gets increased aristocracy until 1426 and increased serfdom until 1416. So we'll click that away. End of the Civil War. All of the messages. Okay, well, 10 legitimacy and 3 stability. So that's having 1. Oh, that's the other guy having 1. And we've taken a load of 55. The Marquis is dead. Well, we won't mourn the Marquis because, you know, that was the previous Marquis. One annoying thing is when you get lots of messages like this and you click OK and it automatically unpauses the game. Right, so there we go. Thierry von Holstein-Gottorp, we got that. The White Horde has a civil war, we don't care about that. We have a mission, create an army for our nation, because suddenly the rebels will become our army, basically. So, 10 army tradition, 5 prestige. Rita has tragically died. Sorry, Rita. Sectarian heretics have risen in Potato, Mousebird and Brugod, so we've got rebels to deal with right off the bat. Elusive Shadow is the trait of our new count, and we've got an heir called Reinald. So, yeah. Still losing money. Apparently that army I raised myself is still my army, but... Oh, come on now. More rebels. So, we won the Civil War, but there are more rebels, and now Poland's calling me to war against... the Lithuanian War for Independence against Lithuania. So Lithuania is trying to break out of the personal union. Sure, why not? You know, let's just go to hell in a handcart. Let's declare war. Royal marriage offer from Volgast. Okay, sure. Who the hell cares at this point? We're all screwed anyway. Raise war taxes! Which I couldn't do just when I was at a civil war. Right, we're losing all the troops. Rebels everywhere. Royal marriage for Sweden. Sure, why not? Just accept all things. Just click all things. Reclaim wrecked. Sure. Sectarian heretics. I don't know what effect sectarian heretics have, but we're going to learn because I have no troops. Yeah. No. Okay. So this is going well. Also, apparently they're still Beardmeisters. Or apparently the heir is a Beardmeister. So the Beardmeisters aren't quite done yet. Okay. The power of the beard is too strong. Even the rebels could not defeat the power of the beard. So even though Rita was tragically slain by the filthy rebel scum, who is now, well, the filthy Duke, or Marquis, I suppose. Yeah, it's still a Beardmeister who's going to inherit, but this is bad. This is very bad. Yes. Low maintenance. What's low maintenance right now? Naval maintenance is low. We don't actually have a navy though, so why would that matter? Why is it? I might as well put that up to 100%. 100% of nothing is still nothing, as Jane Cobb once widely said. So, yeah. One day before Bromania sinks, he inherits Sweden. That would be amazing. That would be such a twist. That would be the best plot twist to be like, well, Bromania's done, but I've got Sweden now, so that's good. So those rebels basically can't take Saltica on their own, but if the other ones march in, then they will be able to. Right, so, yeah, no, we're screwed still. Really? I mean, the screwedness of Bromania hasn't really changed. I mean, the Civil War ended and then more rebels because screw you. That's why. So that's fun. I mean, at least my legitimacy is back up to 100% with this new Duke or Marquis. I keep saying Duke. It's not really. It's not. They're not a Duke at all. But my prestige terrible. Stability, manpower. I mean, stability is good, but manpower and my money's still sinking fast. So yeah, this is just it's just terrible. Everything's terrible. We're gonna see what happens when sectarian heretics take over the country. Which, again, is a thing I've never had happen. So it is still, in its own way, kind of interesting. Because this is all stuff that I don't know... This is all just... I don't know how it will pan out. Decimated youth, manpower severity 2. Many young men have left the war. Many young men will never return. This is just because I have basically... killed all of my available people that were, you know, eligible to be troops. So I'm just decimating the entire sections of Bromanian society with these wars. Yeah. At least this game is, I mean, having played a bit of Victoria 2, I still vastly prefer the manpower mechanics in this to Victoria 2. It is interesting that you look at across all the games, from Crusader Kings all the way up to like Hearts of Iron. Okay. The one thing that there's very few things that are the same between them, and it's only really this and the Hearts of Iron series that have kind of similarities in that they have basically a manpower pool like this, and it's like kind of like a national thing. Whereas in Victoria 2, it has to be managed almost province by province. Well, not quite province by province, but kind of area by area, and you have to be constantly keeping an eye on, you know, what regiments are coming from where and how much manpower is available in those regiments, and it gets very. I didn't like the manpower system in Victoria 2 at all. It's one of the things, like, if there's ever a Victoria 3, I really hope they change that. Right, ecclesiastical writing. So we've had this one before, so we'll just go with the first neutral option. Peace offer from Lithuania. They're offering to peace out, but we'll just decline that because, I don't know. They're just trying to get less people in the war against them, basically. So, yeah. Brugod has come under the occupation of sectarian heretics. Yep. Yep. It's going so well. It's going so very well. So very well. Look at this. Goddamn rebel scum. It's just been nothing but rebel scum for, it feels like decades now. Decades and decades and decades and decades. Anyway. Lithuania has accepted peace with Hungary. There should be a stable government. Several of the leading members of the government are deeply worried about some changes proposed to how the realm should be ruled. They demand a stop to such outrageous reforms based on our tried and proved traditions, naturally avoiding how the changes would impact their own power base. Accept demands, which would lose 50 admin power, or I can ignore them, which would lose 10 prestige. So we'll accept the demands for now, because I can better afford to lose admin power than prestige. Although my admin power is, my admin technology is still, I'm still on admin 6 for crying out loud. This is how far behind I am. Right, heretics have taken WN8. So it's literally just left for them to take the capital. Lithuania accept peace with Poland. Lithuania remains a subject of Poland. Okay, there we go. Where's the thing I'm looking for? Okay, there we go. Right. Our nation has collapsed once again. Accept the outrageous demands. So, more local autonomy, it looks like. Lose 50 prestige. Minus 89 prestige. Minus stability. Well, I'm neutral stability at the moment, so that's fine. Right, royal marriage from Poland, which we do want. A new pope. Okay. And we can boost stability to at least be positive stability. Mission. Recover abysmal prestige. Yeah, we probably want that one. So, you know, Romania lives, but we're in just such a worse state now. What we'll do is we'll split off this mercenary regiment, and that's going to be a bit of a saving, because that's by far the most expensive regiment I've got at the moment. And we can also once again mothball that fort for a little bit of savings, but we can't stand down the army entirely because, well, more rebellions might happen. 2 legitimacy, 4 prestige. I could donate state lands to the thing, but I can't afford to do that. I'm losing 1 gold a month at the moment. We'll also, I guess we'll step down army maintenance. We do have crippling interest at the moment, so there's that. How many loans have I got right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 loans, which I can't possibly afford to pay back. So that's nice. Yes. Yes. Meteor sighted. Well, at least this one is gives a chance of +1 stability. No, okay, nothing happened. Well, I'm fine with that. Right, so yeah, this is looking like I'm going to be we're just in a permanent financial downward spiral, which I can't do anything about, especially. So much for trying to take back Livland. I've just been barely surviving. We've had 2 civil wars where the rebels won. Poland wants my trade power again, apparently. Which I absolutely cannot afford, so we're going to have to decline that. And it's just, I don't know how to get out of this. All my hundreds of hours of playing EU4 tells me that this is a situation where if nobody attacks me, like if Novgorod doesn't decide to steamroll me, or if one of my allies, like if Sweden doesn't turn on me, or Poland or Lithuania, well, it would be Poland and Lithuania together. If it doesn't just collapse, then I don't know, it's just gonna be endless this. It's just gonna be trying to slowly build things up and then events screwing me over. So I don't know. Oh, I've lost subsidies from Poland as well, so my financial situation's actually about to get worse. So that's fun. Bankruptcy looming. So we're going to find out what happens with bankruptcy very shortly, I guess. Yes. So how's chat doing? I mean, it's been educational for me. It's actually been, and I've said this like 3 times already, but it's been interesting seeing this kind of chain of events happen to a country. Bankruptcy. Okay, there we go. That's what bankruptcy looks like. Our people's literacy. We can click away that. We are bankrupt. Our reckless fiscal policies have finally caught up with us. There's no more credit to be had. We can no longer meet our fiscal obligations. In addition to emptying our treasury, this will decrease our stability by 3, increase our inflation, and we will lose all monarch points. Well, that's fairly painful. Prestige and legitimacy will drastically decrease. My legitimacy is at 0, so we're going to have another civil war. A peasants' war. Yeah, we're going to have a peasants' war. That's going to be good. And so this is basically more civil wars, and I've got no stability, and I can't boost my stability, and I am no longer. Wow, I'm not even coring. Why am I suddenly not coring Rita anymore? Yeah, no, this is bad. This is very bad. Another 20 minutes, I think. We'll see how many civil wars we can, lose in a single episode. I mean, we've got positive balance again, at least. I'll try putting our army maintenance up a little bit. If I probably put that up to maximum, that's fine. But yeah, no, this is just like Bromania is a shell of itself. We've also still got split popes, so let's see. I was supporting the rival pope previously, wasn't I? Who would that annoy? It would actually annoy Lithuania. I guess Lithuania's supporting one pope. Pardon me. And Poland's supporting the other. That's got to be causing some tension between them. We'll stick with support the rival pope, I guess. Because there's no one else really on that list that would... yeah, no, we'll stick with that. Okay, so... pursue religious tolerance. No, we don't want to do that. Or donate state lands to the church. I mean, literally the only thing that's now good is the fact that I have positive cash flow. Everything else is screwed. Utterly and totally screwed. 0 legitimacy. Minus 100 prestige. Minus 2 stability. I mean, the manpower's slowly recovering, I suppose. Discipline's actually less than 100% at the moment. I suppose we might as well activate the fort. We've got the cash for that. So Saltica's fort has been unmothballed. I don't think there's any kind of build up or cooldown period with that. Like with the ships and troops, I think there's a slight kind of period where it has to take effect. But forts mothballing seems to be more or less instant. So, yeah, have I mentioned we're screwed? I mean, we are utterly and totally screwed. Let's just check our relations with, you know, all it needs is for Poland to declare war or something like that. Can we can improve relations with Poland, I suppose. Right, popular piety. Oh, this is a long one. Right, I'm going to take a drink of water before I read this out. I feel like we should have that kind of meme where it's like, you know, we've lost 2 civil wars in a row and there's about to be a 3rd one and our manpower's rock bottom and we don't control half of our territories and we don't have a navy and our legitimacy is at 0 and our prestige is about as bad as it can be. But we've got positive cash flow, which is nice. Yeah, anyway. That would be a lot of text to fit on a very small picture. The distractions of the Catholic Church in the 14th and 15th centuries meant that ordinary Catholics felt a longing for connection with their faith that was not being met in church. Instead, many people found ways to devote themselves to God in direct, tangible ways. This manifested as a revival of interest in spiritual traditions like pilgrimages, joining confraternities, participating in passion plays, and venerating saints and relics. It also inspired new practices such as praying to the Rosary, venerating Mary during Mass, taking up the Stations of the Cross, and purchasing indulgences, because, you know, that turned out so well. In Northern Europe, pious women joined communities of Beguines. I guess that's pronounced Beguines, maybe? Women who did not join a nunnery, but who lived life as if they had. Like-minded men joined the Brethren of the Common Life. Religious art increasingly aimed at making holy figures seem human, emotional, and approachable. Popular piety was a religious revival, but it took place outside the hierarchical church and sometimes went against its teachings. The Catholic Church tolerated these minor deviations and eventually incorporated most of them as official doctrine over the next several centuries, but at the time it was controversial within the church. So I can encourage these practices and gain 10 piety, or I can lose 10 papal influence and lose 10 piety. So we'll just go with encourage these practices, because why not? It has no negative costs associated with it, which is, you know, a rarity these days. Right, oh, that's why that's only that one of the regiments got wiped out, so that's only now 3,000 men. I don't even know why I'm trying to build up an army again. Like any rebel uprising, a peasants' war, absolutely we cannot do anything about. The dead hand of the church. I can lose 2 unrest in Brugod, but the church gets more influence. We're already at... I don't think it actually... I think it works differently for Catholicism. There's no influence slider, which there is with some religions. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, so... have I mentioned we're screwed? Right, is there anything else I can do at the moment? I mean, I can build another 1,000 troops, I suppose. I think we've got the cash for that. 1.95. So yeah, we can. Another 1,000 troops is not going to help me, but I can build another 1,000 troops. By the time this peasants' war happens, which is going to be quite soon, it's plus 4.5% per month. It looks like. The Marquis's favourite. Okay, it's an open secret the Marquis has a court favourite. The pair are almost inseparable, clearly in love. You know, the object of Thierry's affections is making demands: a grand ball, new outfits, more entertainment. I love these. These are the decision names. I would do anything for love. I won't do that. Right. So, I would do anything for love. It has a potentially quite a big effect. 30% chance of having either indulgent or generous or a regal court at 40%, which will have an effect on incomes and trade efficiency, but it also increases my prestige. And I won't do that means minus 20% chance of a new heir, and I lose 5 prestige. Well, my prestige is rock bottom anyway, so... there's also the chance that we'd get a modest court, or Well, we'll go with that. We'll see what happens. I might have to check the country modifiers to see which one. Oh, I got the worst possible out of that decision. Selfish. Stability cost modifier plus 10. Yellow prestige minus 0.2. Diplomatic reputation minus 1. Hooray! Alright, Jesus, why? I still don't know why this stopped coring. I mean, I can start coring it again, but... yeah. I really don't know. It must be bankruptcy. Just cancels all calls. Average development. Tax... okay, that's just a maintenance message. Yeah. I mean, I could spend 42 admin power and it might core tomorrow, maybe. I mean, that's got right there 100% autonomy with a 14% unrest. I mean, I literally can't do anything to make that less. Scandal at the court. Take the blame and move on. -1 stability. Bribe an advisor to take the blame. We'll do that. We can actually afford that, just for now anyway. Right, can I increase autonomy in any of these provinces to... No, some of them have, like... Dukimar's got 100%, which I knew, but the fact that Riga's now also... Or Rita's got 100% is... yeah, with still 14%. Yeah, that's not good. The Chief of Canarius has converted to the Catholic faith. Well, okay, well done. So, yeah. Right, what do I need to... 102 admin power to boost stability. We're still at admin tech 6, by the way. I think that's the starting admin tech. Right, right, this is a bunch of truce expired messages. And we'll recall a diplomat from Poland. What's my reputation like with... We can send diplomat to Sweden, why not? Might as well, just fiddling while Bromania burns. Our building opportunities, that's that maintenance message. I don't know why Livland hasn't just built an extra regiment to siege this province. Clearly the AI doesn't... It's not that smart. Skov opens for trade, so we're getting that message again. So, you know, we've got that going for us, which is nice. Church Council begins. A General Church Council has begun. Bishops and cardinals from across Christendom are meeting to discuss and debate fine points of theology and reform the church. Bringing together hundreds of learned and important men can lead to great changes, or to hot air. The council will only meet for so long. What should our delegates try to introduce into the council? I can send them without instructions, which is just an entirely neutral effect. Depose the anti-popes and mend the schism, or try to reform absenteeism. We'll actually go for that last one. We'll see what happens. Because, you know, schisms are fun, right? Peasants' War, hello! And they have popped up in the capital. Why do they always pop up in the capital? God damn it. You have lost. Well, unsurprisingly. Yeah, and they all just got totally wiped out. So the peasants can now just run all over the country as they please. The head of the Catholic religion in Bromania is facing a challenge to his authority from within his own ranks. Outraged at what they see as favouritism and corruption, several powerful clerics have joined together to attempt to unseat the nation's religious authority, or at least reduce his influence. The Cabal has sent a missive to the Marquis offering their loyalty if he supports their candidate. They remain neutral, which is minus 10% or plus 10% to stability cost. Intervene to support the head, which will lose 10 admin power and again stability cost, so stability cost happens either way. Or I can intervene to force him out. Now, what's our current religious head? Because they actually, that's one of the way MEIOU does it, is it puts in a national modifier for your religious head. I currently have a loyal religious head, which is quite useful, so we'll intervene to support him. If he was a controversial one, that has more negative modifiers. So anyway, yeah, we might as well just put this at like maximum speed and just watch the utter destruction of Bromania. Although the rebels seem curiously content just to sit on Serkenberg for now. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. This is like... We're going to end up with the French Revolution, except it's going to be the Bromanian Revolution, and people are going to get their heads chopped off left, right and centre. Well, I don't know that we could really have any darker days for Bromania than we're having right now, to be quite honest. I could try raising some troops, but honestly, is there any point? Like, the army just got wiped out. And although peasants, actually, they used to be fairly weak, it was in one of the patches in the last couple of months with one of the DLCs that came out that really buffed peasant armies. So, yeah. Restrict serfdom, enforce serfdom, and we can get another 12 peasant regiments. Yeah, well, I guess we'll restrict serfdom. You know, we might as well. I want to live. Bromania wants to live. I really don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. We'll play this out to the end, and we'll see what happens. Military research and the introduction of gunpowder has more or less made our former armed forces obsolete. Yeah, all of my armed forces, all of them. Their high status being something of the past, they now find themselves struck in poverty and frustration. Their misery has gone beyond reason, and they are pressuring the authority for financial aid. 35 ducats. What? National manpower modifier plus 10, or I can get national arrest plus 2. Screw it, we'll just say they have no place in our society. They literally have no place in our society. We have no troops. I can raise 3,000 men, but I don't know if I even have the cash to raise 3,000 men. Right, they're just going to sit in Saltica apparently. Do I actually? Maybe I could. Oh god, I think I'm just fiddling while the world burns. But I can afford one regiment. I can afford one regiment, and oh, there we go. We can afford another one now. No, there's no way I can afford artillery. Right, we'll get 2 regiments, and we'll see if we can liberate Circlenberg, and then inevitably my army will be crushed. I mean, there's going to be rebels rising in Rita at some point. Yeah, everywhere has got some unrest at this stage, so yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, haven't mentioned we're screwed, because we're kind of screwed. Oh, Bromania, what have I done? Circon is not going to be pleased that I just ran Bromania into the ground. And partly it was my fault, and partly it wasn't my fault. I mean, you can just end up with chains of bad events coming along that just screw you over, especially if you're in a country that's not particularly economically or militarily strong to begin with. I was hoping to have a stable period so I could just build things up, but that did not happen. During the first stages of the Peasants' War, the rebels have gained ground simply by overwhelming the lords and knights. Due to our already politically decentralised nation, what started out several smaller local uprisings has spread over the provincial borders and engulfed a larger part of our nation. Crush the rebels or negotiate a solution, which I guess we'll go with that one. Right, we'll call a diplomat from Sweden. We don't need him. Have I actually got... I'll just go with that guy. And just... oh, what? The population is now recognising our full authority. Concede defeat. I don't know what that did. That was not very descriptive. Was that in the Peasants' War? No, because we're only there on the bar. 20% towards enforcing their demands. We also have a potential Bromanian peasant, a separate peasant uprising, which is. Oh no! Wait, no. This is the war goals of those guys. Okay, they want lower taxes. I mean, we could just concede defeat, but that's not the Bromanian way. To the bitter end. To the bitter end. Also, why can't I move these troops? Is it because my morale is so terrible generally? Maximum morale 0.5. Oh my word, yes. No, that's pretty bad. I can't see what the maximum morale of what the rebels is, but it's almost certainly better than 0.5. That's probably because my military technology is so terrible, combined with the fact that I have severely negative stability, which I probably can actually increase right now. No, I can't. That's gone up to 160. That was like 100 before, and now it's 160. So that's nice. Come on, move the troops already. Oh, anyway. Because normally you get to that stage of the morale bar and you think, oh yeah, I can just move the troops because my base morale is so pathetically low. I don't know. It's maybe the armies they got wind of the fact that I was playing artillery one time. They learned the horrible truth that I have a Conqueror gun carriage, and their morale just plummeted through the floor. Although a Conquer and Gun carriage would be really useful for taking out those rebels right now. Right, we're going into winter, so they're actually suffering attrition, and they don't have enough regiments to siege that fort. And there's a disease outbreak. So that's actually quite useful for me. Meanwhile, I need at least 3 regiments to liberate the capital. And I need... how much cash to raise a regiment? 17.8. We've got fairly horrible inflation at the moment, I suspect. 2.19. Actually, that's not too bad. I thought it was worse. So, yeah, no. Yeah, the rebels have tied themselves up in Saltica, but honestly, how do I... My prestige is just minus 2.29 every year. I have no way to get my legitimacy out of the toilet. So it's just going to be civil war after civil war after civil war. We've had... I don't know. We've just had nothing but just nothing but badness. It's all been bad. Everything's been just terrible. Anyway. So yeah, this is why you don't want bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is a bad thing. It will screw you. I think what I'll do is I'll play it out to the end of this civil war and then we'll wrap up the episode, and I think we will reboot because, like I said, I don't see how I can come out from this unless we have some really, like 2 or 3 really boring long sessions where just nothing happens. I'd have to go and play it offline for like, oh, they forced us to submit, so that's lower taxes then. Which means my tax income is probably like... It was already like minus 12%, now it's minus 15%. So that's nice. Right. General died. During the first stages of the Peasants' War, the rebels have... The Peasants' War just finished. I don't know why I got that event. So provincial unrest is just all over the place. Increased stability. Syncretic rebels. Independence for Riga. We'll actually spend some military power trying to halt the progress of that. But yeah, this is just going to be endless rebellions, which is not particularly fun to watch. We've had 3 in a row now where we've just had no chance of doing anything about them. So yeah, I think we're going to wrap up Bromania there. This has not gone well. I thought to myself, you know, I've played a bunch of EU4. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I won't have to, you know, I don't know, it's all gone wrong. It's just all gone wrong. Maybe I should have done a full offline, like, I should have just played for myself to reacquaint myself with EU4 a bit more, but anyway, so we're going to wrap this up. We're not done with Bromania, but we will recreate Bromania. We'll start from scratch. So I'll do what I've done with the last ones. I'll upload this VOD to YouTube, and yeah, there will still be more EU4. There will still be more Bromania, but it's just we're going to start again somewhere else because this has just been terrible. This has just been terrible. I think what we will do is we will take a Dutch province or 2, which will start us off in the HRE, but you can get lots of interesting internal politics in the HRE. And it also puts me in a very good place to get more trade income. Maybe we could have Bromania be a trade republic, I don't know, but yeah. And also, as Charles Rao points out, we can actually do a random world start. So we basically randomize every other country in the world as well. And we can make things look a bit different. So, yeah, we'll wrap up the stream here, and thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll pipe us out with some music that I've picked out, and I don't know, all of you that have been watching, I mean, you've all been very patient, and it's just a pity it hasn't gone better. So, I'll see you again for Bromania in the future, and for Circon streams and the like, and once again, thanks for tuning in.